We decided on Chasing the Cool, the podcast. The Cool.
Great name. Great name.
Real original.
Yes.
Come to MB World, ride
Yes.
some dolphins, and we can watch the panda bears sweep the floors.
Nah,
oh,
so-
Lord.
Good morning. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Chasing the Cool, the podcast. I'm Mitchell Bailey. Ryan Kernion sitting here with me as always. And we're back, episode 4. We're getting a little more aggressive. We're speeding up. We're getting back into
You
it.
call it aggressive.
And we're actually going to label this one, instead of episode 4, this is going to be known as the Seinfeld episode. This will be a episode about nothing.
It's going to be fantastic. And tune out now.
We teased you on our last episode with Mark Rogo, the head trainer for the Padres. And we got all set up. We got a couple little props here. Super excited. Got my gear on, hyped up. Background, you can't see it. We got 1-1. It's the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Phillies game 7. Like, we are ready to go. We got the beers cracked. We're ready. Only problem is we got a text about 45 minutes ago that Mark is unable to make it due to some breaking news today that came down. For those of you that follow the Padres or baseball, Bob Melvin is no longer with us. He's moved on to the San Francisco Giants.
That was a real quick one.
So we can guarantee they will be in the World Series next year.
Yeah, it's guaranteed.
That's
Mark
written
it
in.
down, San Francisco.
So that's enjoyable. So anyway, unfortunately, Mark's had some things going on today. They're kind of not really wanting people out talking too much right now either.
Yeah.
So understandable. Hopefully we can still get him on at some point.
Hope you're not too busy, Mark.
But anyway,
and
the content's going to be a little shorter and a little different. We're going to wing it. It's a show about nothing, but we're gonna make it
cue
fun.
up
Let's
the
do it.
Seinfeld music.
So I guess the first thing we should do, as always, is we have our segments, and one of our favorite ones is the cool. And I say we start there because I don't know what the hell else we're going to do.
We like to talk about things that are cool, bring you things that are cool. And as you can see, I'm actually proud. I'm wearing my jersey. I've got my Tom Brady on right now. I should have worn the Mac Jones jersey. We go out and we take the game against Buffalo this last week. I was able to you were watching it here when I was working. I wasn't able to watch a lot of it. What I usually do is tune out as much as I can. Yeah. I go home and watch the
I give him the updates from afar as he walks by.
I walked away, and I have this old habit, and we'll get into this as we get deep into football stuff, maybe around Super Bowl, but I've always had this habit. My wife knows. I walk away from games. We've been at live games where I walk away during drives, and they come back and they score. It's like if I stop watching for a second, the comeback against Atlanta, great story about that. But we won. We pulled it off. Mac Jones looked good in this game. You know, I'd kind of given up a little bit on Mac Jones. We come back and win it with 15 seconds left, 29-25 against the Buffalo Bills, who are one of the hottest teams in football right now. They're a little exposed, but Mac Jones looked good, and that was pretty much the biggest thing. Like DeMario Pop Douglas, a real weapon for us, undrafted out of Liberty. The team looked like it operated in all 3 phases, so I'm excited. I'm wearing the jersey. Now, granted, we got 2 wins now. We doubled our win column. It's a weird part in time but I'm excited. Yeah, I'm excited. I think this is super cool, but, we're not tanking.
Baby steps.
Really excited, actually, as bad as it sounds, to actually go through the mud and the muck and actually see rebuilds and drafts. You
guys haven't been there in a while, so it is exciting for you to do things
since
like that.
I was in my teens.
I have a life of that's all I know is going through shit and rebuilds and mud and new coaches and new managers and new players, and this is our year. Just like again, my wife knows this more than anybody. To your point. You're not paying attention. You're walking away, going to the bathroom, or doing something else. The jersey that you wear on any given day is the reason your team wins or loses.
100.
You
control it all.
It's 100%. So it's very challenging for us every day to figure out the hat, the socks, the kit. Should we watch it at home? Should we watch it with our friends that are going to make, rooting against us? What should we do? But it's very impactful what we contribute to our teams.
They should be thankful for me that I walked away and we came back and won that one. Same thing as anyone I draft in my fantasy league. I want to just write them a mail and be like, I'm sorry I ruined your career and you tore your ACL because I drafted you. Full control there. Well, I thought it's really cool. We talk about the NFL a lot lately, but it's just super heightened right now. And again, it's anyone's league. But to see your team lastly not just tanking and giving it, Bill went out and said we're going to give our best shot every week. I'm excited to see kind of coming up along the way. We got the Dolphins this week, but then we got the Colts coming up, the Commanders coming up, and then we got the Chargers.
How do we feel about the Dolphins? Because on your best years, the Dolphins, no matter what, are the team you typically don't want to face.
Especially in Miami. We're playing in Miami. When we go down to Miami, we haven't beaten them in a long time. Tom Brady couldn't beat them down in Miami. I could see us probably losing this one. I know the Dolphins lost last week, and they kind of sent out a message saying, whoever we play next, they're going to get it. So I'm okay with that. I hope it's a good fight. We only lost by, I think, a touchdown last game on a close one. But I don't like our chances. But after that, Commanders, Colts, Giants, and then the Chargers and the Steelers. So Gabe, we're coming for you. But we got that Charger Monday night game.
So while you're on that and you're in that kind of rebuild, but you're excited, you got to take what you can get at this point, and a win's a win, and it at least gets you a little more excited about the season where you maybe weren't prior to these last couple games. What are your thoughts on the future of Bill Belichick and kind of where that's at, and that question mark of, again, a rebuild and someone that's been around and done everything you can for the team, but at a certain point you have to move on.
Except for draft quality first-round picks besides defensive ends. I mean, they signed him to a lucrative contract. It was leaked 30 minutes before the game. It's really hush-hush up in New England. He's going to stick around. He could get traded, and you don't see coaches get traded a lot, but he could get traded. They signed him to a deal. If there's a team out there, and I'll be honest, Chargers, there are Cowboys. There's a couple of teams out there I could see. They're high-profile teams missing that component. But with the amount of money we have over $140 million in payroll next year that we have to spend. Top 4 team, top 3 team going into the offseason. I like what we could do if we have we're at the 6th pick right now. The future's always going to be bright for me if we have Bill. If we trade him away, things could get a little crazy.
So again, who wouldn't want to go to LA, but more so, who wouldn't want to work for the Spanos?
Oh,
a dream job.
Dream. Yeah, stay out of the business.
So that's a tough one. But yeah, I definitely could see that had been talked about prior to Staley and some others possibilities of Belichick at some point possibly going to the Chargers.
Belichick coaching Boza.
Another sad and interesting
the same time.
Did
we just become best friends?
With the Chargers, where I was actually, as you said, I was here. I was rooting for the Patriots, which I don't always do, but in that moment that I'd much rather see them win than the Bills. Yep. Helps our situation.
100%.
But we don't really have a situation that it really helped anyway, because then we sat here and the same thing happened where you were rooting for the Chargers more than you ever have based on some scenarios that were going on here and some unruly fans and patrons that were
there's still rough, some surprises out there.
There's a lot going on. Yeah, the NFL
a lot of surprises going on in that division you guys are in right there. If you guys can,
those 5-1 gimme Super Bowl, they're going all the way. They just start dropping off like that.
Popping. Niners lost last night. To Minnesota and.
Kirk Cousins.
When Kirk Cousins, primetime guy now.
Kirk overnight.
You text me that. You're like,
guy.
I didn't even think about it. He got a primetime win.
Primetime guy. A big one.
I mean, a huge win. He
got his chain back. He got his chain back. He's back.
You like that. You like that. Yeah. But it's exciting. It's super cool. And to be honest, for your team as well, for the Chargers, anyone can win right now. They can go on a tear. The divisions right now are all kind of a hodgepodge of 3-2 teams and 2-5, things like that. So it's going to be interesting.
It is. Well, so we got.
What do you got? What do you got going on?
So I got something a little kind of starts out funny and humorous and involves Kevin Hart. He had this little interview with Carmelo Anthony, and he was talking about just kind of like that middle of the road, just giving the reward of figuring things out. And just kind of like, you don't always have to be the best at something. You want to just, we all go out there and, a parent, entrepreneur, and different things that you do that you're, I have my skill sets and I know what they are. And I know the ability of where I need to be with those things. And I set a bar for myself of what I want to do and how I want to learn and how I want to get better. And sometimes you just got to fix a shower head in your house. You got to figure out something in the backyard, or you got to do something with one of the kids or whatever it is. And you maybe fake it till you make it, or it's a bad situation, you screw it up, whatever it is. But sometimes you just get in there. We live in a world now we can cheat with some YouTube and some different things, so we have that advantage. But either way, there's something to be said for going out and trying to do things. And sometimes I think I have a lot of skill sets I for sure didn't have 5 and 10 years ago by having that type of mentality of just figuring it out. And in business especially, there's so many things that I'm like, that is not my skill set. That's not my level. This is my lane. I stay in it. But as an entrepreneur, you're forced to go into certain lanes and learn things and figure them out. And over time, next thing you know, it's something that, again, 5 or 10 10 years ago, I know nothing about. I'm a little bit more of an expert in that field because you had to get in there and figure it out. But let's listen to what he had to say about it. I loved his kind of his point of view on this.
I'm the best father in the world when it comes to the understanding of dumb shit.
That's a fact.
You know, and I say this humbly, not to get ridiculed after, but I remember me and my son had a conversation. He got a C. It was like a C minus, a C plus on the subject he was struggling, right? He was like, "Dang, man, I got a C minus, a C plus." I gave him a high five. He was like, "What?" I said, "Hey, man,
That shit hard.
I'm gonna keep it real with you, son."
Trigonometry hard.
I wasn't pulling
I
that.
wasn't mapping to
I said that can go on the fridge if you wanted to. Now I'm not telling you to underachieve, but I'm telling you like there is a reward to passing and doing the thing that you don't know how to do. If you figure it out to some degree, that's a reward. You're not going to figure it out at the highest level like everybody else does. Some people are going to figure it out a little slower. You got to be comfortable with living in the space and place of your personal reward. And I told my son, I said, you ain't going to school for me. You're going to school for you. I want you to be the best student you can, but you're not trying to follow what I did because what I did ain't shit.
Yeah.
You don't want to see my grades because you're going to ask yourself, why the fuck did I get here? How'd you do it, Dad? Because on paper, it say you're not supposed to be here.
100%. He
So
speaks
there,
the truth.
it's great. So I mean, again, he's talking about kids. He's teaching that to his kid, and it's not teaching you to just barely get by, but there is something to that because I think when you show there's a reward for giving it a try and not always teaching that, well, if you're not going to go do it at the highest level or be the best at this or get an A or do this, then don't do it. So sometimes people teach that or they make you believe that if you're not going to be the best at something, then don't do it.
Yeah.
And in certain aspects, yeah, it just depends on where you're at and what you're trying to do or what you're trying to achieve. And then there's just try. Go out and do something. Do something that makes you uncomfortable. Do something that you're going to learn. Do something with somebody else that you're going to learn from. Those things over life and with age teach you a lot, and it makes you stronger, and it builds you through everything again from business to family member to relationships and everything by just getting out there and diving into something and figuring it out.
I actually had this exact conversation on parent-teacher conference 2 weeks ago with my middle daughter, with McKenna. And I get her grades. We sit down the night before, and of course it's shining and A's, and we get to math. And she's like lacking in math, and she's at a really competitive school. It's a totally different program here over, it's an academy in Escondido. But I turned to her and I'm like, I'm not mad if you get a C. Like he said, I hadn't even seen that video. It's like, if you try and they're not going to fail you, I'm cool with it. And no one's, you're not using trigonometry, geometry. Who uses that besides scientists, people at NASA? You're not in the common world right now, 70% of these jobs, you're not using anything more than basic math, but to try. And that was the biggest conversation when we sat down with the teacher. She goes, 70% of the other kids at the school as well are struggling. And now I'm seeing emails come through. We're going to change this math curriculum. It's literally happening. So the reality, I had that conversation, and it's true. Being okay with, and it's the false narrative of the participation trophy, it goes deeper. It's like, try, get out there and do something, and you nailed it. You're not going to do it at the highest level in everything you do. There's only going to be a 0.01% of people that are doing that, and they're going to usually be good at that one. Right?
You realize we're talking about school and grades, so the first time that you ever go out and do something, do you just get all A's? No, you certain kids work
There's
towards
a couple
that.
of those little stinky
certain,
fucks.
certain kids, exactly, they have something
Always
naturally,
getting
they
good
go out and get
grades.
it. But at some point, even in that, it's how much you study and how hard you work, and you get better and better at math or whatever it is, and all of a sudden you're an A student. You're
Especially math. Let's be real. Who here was really great at math? Yeah.
Was? Never.
Yeah, never.
Not is, not was.
It's baffling to me, again, that they push this curriculum of math, especially for 7th grade, where you're like, I don't use 7th grade math ever in my life one time. I haven't had to try and find an angle without a ruler. And yeah, so that's awesome. That's freaking cool. That's hilarious. And Kevin Hart, he's got it together.
Yeah.
He's got that together.
Guess what?
What?
Segments.
Segment
Command
time.
Z.
Let's go. It's Command Z
Z.
time. This is one of those videos again, or one of
Once
these little
again,
clips.
these are one of the things we have to get a tattoo, so remember what it is. Ryan,
Story of my life.
I
Haven't gotten
assume
mine yet.
has not gotten his this or that.
Yeah, I'm going to get this or
tattoo.
that on the knuckles.
he's going to have the cool right here, right
happening.
behind his ear, so that when I look over and I remember
Command
the
Z on
segment,
my
I can
chest.
see
So
it.
we'll just be ready to rock and roll, reminding ourselves. Well, let's see if we can get to how many fans? How many, like, what's realistic for us to have followers wise?
Oh, you're talking about
I'm gonna get a
the
tattoo. I will get a tattoo of this, or I will get this or that tattooed on me. If you guys can get us to you guys are more social media inclined.
what's the timeline on this?
I think we're at 3 right now, so I think we're on
when we
target
get to 1K
for 10
1K
in the
for
next.
first.
Yeah, if we get to 1,000 by the end of this year, is that even realistic? 1,000?
Oh heck yeah! Well, based on the tattoo, yes, that's why we're having this conversation.
We can get 1,000 followers on our Instagram. I will get this or that.
Are you going to get this or that?
Maybe I get this, you get that.
I get that.
And we'll just yeah. That's a threat, everybody. Come get me, all right? But yeah, so this or that.
And that'll be another contest along the way. We'll have people contribute as to who should get which one, how it should go, where the arrow
on your
points,
foreheads,
this or that. We're not
we'll have
saying
an artist down here.
We're not saying we're doing exactly what you suggest, but we could have a contest to have suggestions about the funniest and best creative way we could do
When
this.
we get to 100,000, I'm getting
Possibly.
chasing the cool.
Teardrop.
Just chasing the cool.
Just CC like a Chanel logo.
just around my eyeball, dude. I'll get real weird. All right.
So
well, this is coming off the rails.
So on
early.
Command Z. So here we are. That was a long lead into Command Z. But you know what? The first one before we talk more sports, Mitchell, very original. Let's get into Ryan's Command Z. That is also around sports, but a little bit funnier. And
man, I got this video. I literally sat down, getting ready to come over for the show. I'm shower up, get ready, get fresh, and first thing that pops up. I'm more on social media now than I ever have been. I'm getting more of this dialogue and content, so I'm watching, and it pops up on my phone, and you guys have to watch this. This kid has got to be like 7, and I'm watching this video, and he's in a driveway smashing a driver, a club from golf, and it says he's breaking in dad's new driver. And I didn't listen to the sound to start. And I'm watching this kid whack it. As I turn up the sound, you just hear the neighbor. He's like, fuck yeah. Oh, yeah. Smash it. Smash it. Breaking in your dad's new driver. It is hilarious. This kid at the end of the video, if you guys can watch it on YouTube, he goes running and puts it behind the car. You could tell mom and dad come out like, what are you doing? If this happened to me, and this has actually happened on a Segway with you, with
if
clubs
this happened
going
to
on,
we would not be doing a podcast right now.
No,
I wouldn't have
prison.
made it to California.
We'll be doing
or
it from
anywhere
a
else.
state penitentiary. But check this out. This is hilarious.
So I
This
already
kid-
want to kill this kid. I haven't seen it yet.
Oh, man. He gets aggressive.
Hey, Dad, let me test out your new driver.
It's like he's tying railroad stakes.
Who's filming this? He's not doing it.
No, it's the neighbor. Listen. He goes,
Oh, yeah, fucking, yeah, buddy. Fuck yeah.
fuck yeah.
Dad's new driver. Get it. Fuck yeah, smash it.
God.
It's going.
It's like Paul Bunyan, dude, cutting down trees. Watch. Shit.
Stop standing and watching.
And he gets rolled. Imagine his gut and how hard that dropped right there. And I would love to know what Dad said when he figured out where.
Well, I'm wondering. First of all, I'm wondering what Dad did to piss him off, because that's aggressive.
He's clearly mad.
The kid. Everyone parents their kids different, but the kid has some understanding of what are his dad's things and what you don't do with dad's things and what could come of that. I would think
Somebody
there's
got
some
their
parenting along the
PlayStation
way.
taken away.
So to do that, and then more so as I'm watching it, I'm looking at the neighbor that's laughing, going, well, he also pissed off the neighbor.
He's like, fuck
because
yeah,
the
buddy.
neighbor took a chance to grab content and not do anything about it. You know, again, if that was me looking at, Billy over here, or you across the street, kid grabbed it, you guys didn't know, I'd be
running across.
This guy's going, yeah, get it,
Yeah, get it. He's like trying to go for the snap.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Wow, and I'm having real quick too. I had a chance. We're both fortunate to know some people at TaylorMade Golf. They take really good care of us. We get some really great, cool things from these guys, unexpected here and there. And I had the fortune of doing an event with them just less than a week ago at the TaylorMade Kingdom, and they gave me some things. And I got this driver that's so. It's not meant to be played with, and it's the type of thing that just I don't even know what to do with it. So I don't know where to put it. I don't know. It doesn't belong on a golf course because it's too amazing and beautiful and has meaning to it. And I'm just thinking about, thank God my kids are grown up now and I don't have to deal with that. But I'm just imagining that scenario if it was something like that. And again, I'm thinking I brought this thing in and kind of was showing everybody. It's just kind of laying on the couch in the front. That easily it could be grabbed and be a bad situation. And oh boy, I don't know how. I don't even know how you would react to that.
That's like the putter in the lake with your buddy from Scotty Cameron. That's a classic right there.
Oh, that's a great story.
That's a good story. We could segue into that, tell that story.
We have someone trying to break in right now. Everyone, please hold.
This might happen on live TV right now. This is crazy.
Yeah, we got something going down. Please stay with us.
We got some shenanigans.
I'm afraid he's going to let him in without IDing him or
with his hands
or frisking him. I think he might be telling us we're not allowed to do a podcast at My Yard Live. All right, we're back. That was different and interesting and weird and cool and all kinds of adjectives.
Anything, under the sun right there.
So we thought we were getting broken into. Billy No Joke's back here. Shout out Billy No Joke.
Shout out to the best bouncer alive.
But next thing you know, we're like, he's back here bouncing. We're trying to pay attention, but it was weird. There's a guy at the door that we're not sure what's going on, and he wasn't letting him in.
He's like, sure, you could talk to him. They're shooting a podcast.
The whole time it was our guest, Mark Rogo, who we told you at the beginning was going to be here, ended up not being able to be here for multiple reasons based on breaking news today and just the organization and
how it operates.
He couldn't make it today. So he drove all the way here, which is not anywhere on his way home, just to make sure that we got the report that he couldn't be here, apologize, say that he still wants to be on the show, just that today didn't line up. So we're still going to try and make that happen. But hey, thanks for coming by.
Yeah, Mark, nice guy.
Super cool guy. And I wish we could have just recorded the little conversation we had with him. Was amazing. So can't wait until we can hopefully get him on the show and get that. But that was awesome. So we had just finished your Command Z, which was the kids smashing the dad's driver, and R.I.P. to that kid.
Yeah,
and maybe R.I.P. to the neighbor, because I'm sure they got into it.
And
for
that's what I'm
filming
wondering.
That shit.
Last note would be like, he's gonna see that video because that's gonna be viral, and he's gonna be like, my neighbor, that's Jack. I'm gonna go get him.
And I'm hoping neighbor Jack literally went, I'm gonna film this because it's gonna be viral content, and then I'm just gonna get you a new driver.
I'm sure someone's reaching out to him, being like, we got you a new driver.
So that you brought up, it reminded you of similar to a Scotty Cameron story. So I have a friend, Blair, and I was told the story about the first time that Scotty Cameron, local, these guys are around here. A friend of mine, Blair, know him through DC Shoes and Lake Ken Block. He's a big golfer, and he had the opportunity to play with Scotty Cameron. And I believe it was the first time, I would assume the first time that they ever played together. They're out there, and Scotty Cameron, for those that don't know, is known for the most beautiful, amazing putters in the world, and he hand makes these things, and they're unbelievable. And if you're a golfer, that's what you strive to own, is a Scotty Cameron. So Blair is out there golfing, and he's got this. How many years old it is? Just the oldest putter, just a piece of crap. And Scotty Cameron goes over and just grabs the thing and goes, "What the hell is this?" And he just whips the thing into a lake. And he just looks at him, and Blair goes, "Yeah, my grandpa gave that to me. He passed away, and it was handed down through, and it was really important to him." And Scotty Cameron obviously just completely dropped, and it was just felt like a piece of crap. Yeah. And
fortunately, it was Scotty Cameron.
And so again, to the point of what you just said, then obviously Scotty Cameron delivered him an amazing putter and replaced it. It just wasn't the putter that grandpa gave him that had a lot of meaning to it. But so a funny, not funny story, but still humorous align with a little bit. But
I tell that story.
Yeah, so that was so there was our Command Z that turned into. Mark came in during the Command Z. Don't do this. Don't block.
Yeah.
Don't body out the guy that's supposed to be your guest.
Great job,
He's
Billy,
standing outside. Who are you? Padres. Who?
Yeah, I've never heard of him. He's like, I work for the Padres. Never heard of him. I know Mitchell. Never heard of him. Hey, pal, you're gonna have to beat it.
So, on to my Command Z. Which is a great transition because he showed up right at the right time. And as I said, I'm jumping right back into sports and baseball, which we are now watching the Phillies up 2-1 in Game 7 against the Diamondbacks.
I think the Phillies are going to pull.
Last night was the Texas Rangers and the Houston Astros. And the Houston Astros, anybody that is a baseball fan or not even a baseball fan, I'm sure you've heard the story of what the Astros have done over the years and the cheating scandals and getting caught, but unfortunately not getting rings taken away, not getting, there's so many awards that were given out and things that were robbed away and things that suck that I feel for anybody that had that taken away from them. And obviously I was never an Astros fan, but I've had a really hard time not rooting for any other team but them anytime they ever play. So even with Texas Rangers this year, Bruce Bochy, having a past connection to the Padres and me wanting him, we had a chance to possibly have him go back in prior to Bob Melvin and possibly be a manager here. I think he made a great decision not to do that, obviously. Went on to the Texas Rangers and in his first season out of retirement, gets him back in and ends up taking out the Astros. And it wasn't, they came out hot and then they got their ass kicked right back, and it looked like kicked to where it was like, okay, here goes the Astros again, doing what they do. Here we go again. We're gonna have another Phillies Astros. It's just a repeat. It's expected. It's already written. And man, he came back, and not only did he do it, he did it the last game 6 and 7 in Houston. That's really hard to do. And what really got me the most in my Command Z was I'm watching this game last night, and again, I'm watching it just because I'm excited to see Bruce Bochy, see the Astros lose. It's a blowout game. It's not worth watching.
Yeah, smoke shot.
There's some football on. There's other things. I'm flipping back and forth. But what really got me is I'm sitting there going, in sports in general, and especially in baseball, and especially in a proven team like the Astros that's brought you the pennant, that has delivered over and over and over. It wasn't a lucky season. That stadium was clearing out as early as the 6th inning. They were clearing out in the 7th inning, and by the early 8th inning, they're filing out as if it's 160 games before we get into this postseason. They're filing out, and it's not over. I mean, the same way that the Texas Rangers got a lead or won any other games, and just like they did, all it takes is one inning. It takes a couple guys getting up tuned out and firing them out.
You're messaging me. I tuned out to watch the NFL game because I had them both kind of split screen. I was like, I was one of them. I tuned out. I'm not a fan of theirs, but I tuned out, and when you hit me, I had to go back.
Yeah,
and it was crazy.
I'm watching this going. So
this
again,
is Game 7.
Again, it's Game 7. Anything can happen.
And you're the Astros.
They've gotten you all the way there, and they're not done yet. It's not over just because they're losing. Again, the score gets one way, and it can go back the other way. You're at the end. You're deep into a bullpen. There's a million reasons that it can flip like that. And typically, what happens is it takes that one shot out of the park or some momentum,
some juice,
load the bases up, and let your damn stadium go wild. And that's what turns games around. That's what makes it go. And they left them. They left them high and dry. And when you would look, especially directly behind home plate, it was a ghost town with your season ticket holders, the people that fight there all year, the people that have celebrated the championships with them were gone. And I thought that was total bullshit. And right there, as much as, again, not an Astros fan, and I'm glad that they lost, that made me feel bad for the players that, like, holy shit, they're leaving them like that.
Yeah,
and
we've gone to like 4
and it's not over. And again, it's not even Game 3 where, hey, we'll be back for the next game. We lost one and we're throwing in the towel and we got to be to work tomorrow. They left them in a chance that they could have come back and still delivered a World Series.
Exciting Game 7.
Yeah. So that just blew me away. I mean, that was a Command Z. And to me, anybody to ever do that, I go to Padres games. They're getting their ass kicked. You stay there. You support the team. You stay as long as you can because at any time, again, it takes one guy connecting, boom, boom, boom. Next thing you know, and what's the coolest thing? Staying at baseball games and seeing those walk-off home runs, seeing anything at the end.
I'd rather show up late.
You
and
live
watch the rest
for
of the
that
game,
more than anything is the coolest thing to see at those games. And I can't imagine if it's to take you to the World Series in a Game 7.
In an
I'd be like an
ALCS.
asshole if you're sitting in your car in traffic and that happens, and you were sitting behind home plate the whole time. Come on, give me a break.
Yeah.
So that was a bummer for me.
Command
But
Z that.
go Rangers.
Yeah, go Rangers. You know, Bochy did it with the Padres. Bochy did it with the Giants, and he's doing it now with Texas. I love him as a coach. One of my favorite coaches of all time. I actually have a photo of my oldest daughter. Now she's going to be 19, and we went down to picture day, and she's eating a cookie, and he had her on his shoulder. I'll have to pull this picture so we can post it up. And she's eating a cookie, and in the picture you just see Cookie, and he's. Oh, don't even worry about it. It'll be a lot dirtier by the end of the game. He was just such a nice guy, and what he did for San Francisco was unbelievable. They win every other year. They were going every other year winning championships. Like
again,
you said, I think you said, good decision with AJ Preller and not.
Well, to your point, that looks. Seen this movie before, and congratulations, San Francisco Giants, on making the World Series next year.
Giants, Rangers, World Series. You heard it here. All the coaches from the Padres that they couldn't land.
And probably some players. We're not done yet. But Snell's probably going
Soto's
there. Hader's probably going there. Yeah,
Soto's going to get traded.
They have a lot to work with. The Giants do. They've got some money to throw around.
Well, they were hot. They were the hottest team in baseball the first half. I mean, they really Chris Doe won't.
Without those pieces. So now with Bob Melvin and now some money to work
payroll,
with.
Yeah. They have the ability to go spend. Every time they were in every conversation for every hot trade that was happening, you were like, Giants are going to get him. Giants are going to get him. I mean, so super stoked. Fuck you, Chris Doe, whatever.
Chris Doe sucks.
Your beer's decent. All right. Well, the Command Z's are out of the way. Do we keep going on skits or what? I mean,
what we keep going on is we need to talk about this. We need to talk about, again, we haven't done enough shows and we're putting them out right now. So you're going to start seeing these, and you're going to start seeing that you didn't win. You didn't win these 4-packs. You didn't win any Trust Me merchandise or any cocktails or any Chasing the Cool shirts or any My Life gift cards, fat ones too. This isn't like get one burger.
Here's a $25 gift card. We're giving hundreds of dollars away.
This is the real deal. So these are nice giveaway packages, and we're going to continue to add to those because sponsors are going to stack up based on how amazing this
I think
show
we've got
about
the 99
cent
store. I think they're dialed
so it's going to be good. To my point, make sure we did some giveaways. You're seeing we are about to continue to do these. We've got you got to follow us. So the number one thing is follow us on Instagram. Follow us go on YouTube, subscribe. We're on Spotify. It's Chasing the Cool, the podcast. Get on there. DM us on the Instagram. It's the best place to do it. We're checking that all the time. And a lot of you, I think, have maybe watching the show because you see some of the clips. We try and put some highlights and teasers of what we do there. So that's the best place to hit us up. Send us a Command Z. Send us videos of something you saw that's cool. Give us a subject. Give us a this or that. Give us whatever. We're going to go through.
The first 5 to slide into the DMs that like and follow and hit him on the DMs here on the Chasing the Cool podcast. I'm going to send you guys $25 gift cards, a Chasing the Cool sticker. We're going to get you guys dialed in. Welcome to the fam. The first 5 to slide into the box after the show drops and get us some followers, show us some likes, get us some content. I'll give you guys all $25 gift cards.
Speaking of 5 people, what sport has 5 people on the team?
It's a good question. I'm going to guess basketball. Basketball started tonight. NBA is back. Basketball. This is the best time of the year. We were kind of talking to Billy, mild education. I mean, he's got game. Especially in the hip hop world, but NBA's back. It's that time of year where NHL's back, NBA's back. Football is getting to its juiciest time right here in the middle of the season, and we have World Series and championship baseball going on. There's not a better time of the year. Gotta love that October, November when things get juicy. Right now, NBA, Lakers trying to hold on against the Nuggets. Watching that one over here, but exciting. NBA is back. I know that we have people like Larry that like to talk about Fab Fives and teams and Terrence Ball. I want you to slide in after you see this and give us your picks. But I think it's only fitting. We got to talk about way too early picks for NBA championship.
We got to talk about how someone like Larry. This is the fight I always have because I'm one of the worst people that because I'm a Chargers fan because I followed them to LA from San Diego, not because I like LA, but because I like the team, the Chargers, and I like the players, and I support them for a long time. We can get on that forever. I do not like the Spanos. I do not like the organization. That's different. What I'm trying to understand is how your team can be the LA Lakers, but I can be a piece of crap because
he threw a jab at me on social media.
So there's just a lot of things.
Go Boston,
There's other things we'll talk about at another
Frickin'
time
Larry,
that
I
I have these conversations with multiple people of how you can be shunned for supporting one LA team that you didn't go to LA to like. They went there.
Has he even lived in LA ever in his life?
And then
his grandma lives on my block. He grew up
but then you
on
can
my
support
street.
the Lakers, and that's okay. I don't know.
Let's
I'm
go.
just throwing it out there. It's just
And you don't even have a team.
topic for another
You're
time.
constantly razzing. You don't even have a team most of the time.
Larry's team is whoever's winning. So right now,
Whoever's winning.
right now he's
It's true.
Right now, I mean, he's
a Nuggets fan right now.
I don't know
actually,
what he was
'cause
doing
Lakers
during
getting beat.
that Eagles Philadelphia game. I'm sure that was a tough pick for him. He was going back and he was flipping jerseys back and forth.
Yeah, that's what he does. He's a crack up. You guys will love when you see him on the show. Him, his brother. I mean, just a crack up, a great family. Like I said, his grandma, his mom. His mom literally lives like a block from me in a cul-de-sac. So I know you didn't live in the mean streets of LA. All right, but what
the
do you
mean
think?
streets of Esco.
Esco, baby, yeah, and
Let's go,
it could be mean over there. He's the kind of person you want to know.
So yeah, NBA. Well, we all know that
NBA.
we call it the MB.
Are you going to get the NBA going with MB World?
To go with MB World, I'm trying to do a takeover 2023.
I pretty much get super excited. Obviously, the Celtics, being a Boston guy, I'll talk about them for 2 seconds. Just getting into the season, getting Kristaps Porzingis, Drew Holiday getting over here, traded. I mean, we're already a team that's been knocking on the door, gone to the NBA Finals, getting smoked, gone to the Eastern Conference Finals, gotten smoked. Can we get over the hill? We just signed Brown to a max deal. I like our odds. I like what we got going. Peyton Pritchard, J.D. Davidson, people coming off the bench. But it's exciting for the NBA right now. The Denver Nuggets, when you're the top dog and everyone wants to knock you off right now, the Denver Nuggets are number one in the power rankings right now. I mean, the Joker's dope. Great team. But, I started thinking about it. It's way too early, and we're going to come back because our show should still be around even if we're just filming it out of our bathroom on a cell phone. I want to do our way too early picks. We're just going to write it down. We're gonna come back to it mid-season. Well, I'm sure we'll be laughing. It could be outlandish, but who do you your gut? If you had to go to Vegas right now and you're slamming some money down, I mean, I could give you the power rankings if you need them, but I know you follow enough.
I really dive in week one, so it's better that I don't know any of the power rankings. Maybe. Obviously,
I can't. I got to scroll pretty far to find the
obviously
Bulls.
Milwaukee has
the Bulls aren't on here. It's weird. He's a Bulls fan, man. You guys will get to know that. He's a Bulls fan. They got a great squad.
They do have a great squad. They're
fingers are hurting.
They're great, just like the Chargers. They're great, just like the Padres, and they all finish the same. But so
you just subject yourself.
So yeah, I did. So,
you do subject.
But you know what? That's sports, and what happens is someday when they do it, it's like the greatest moment of your life. I'm assuming
21.
I'm assuming
21 out of the power rankings.
I'm assuming. Again, I've been a Bulls fan since the day that Michael Jordan went there from UNC. I lived in North Carolina. So that was my reason of even becoming a Bulls fan heavily, was because of that. My brother and I would watch the Bulls on volume at 23. Everybody get the hell out of the house. And it was serious. We never missed a game, and everything to that, 23 volume, every little detail of what it was. So we got to enjoy a lot of championships to that point, and I'm not like other people, like we might have just talked about, that just jump ship because they're not winning championships anymore. So I like to stick with them. I like for them to be relevant. Again, I think the NBA has a little bit of that power, like they do with NFL and things, where they move players around and guys are jumping and they're building power teams. So there's a lot that happens, and the Bulls kind of built that. It got exciting again in the last couple of years. Yeah, we had Ball. And he was our leader, he was our Magic Johnson. The guy had handles and passing and saw the court like nobody else. And for me, that was like, here we go. Like we're bringing in guys, but a guy like that leading the court. And then he's had an injury that's probably been the weirdest injury in the NBA.
I think it's his dad.
That literally the
injury.
Bulls went out this offseason and tried to file to see what they could get for this injury. He hasn't even played.
They're just paying him.
It's just out, and they're just paying him, and it's completely hindered their ability to do anything because he's on the roster, and what they gave him and what they can do has just crushed him. You know,
Yeah,
so
DeMar DeRozan and having Zach LaVine and the core is there in the days where you guys had Noah, and I know you were a big Noah fan. We actually went back and forth, and I hated playing when Jimmy was there. Like, you know,
I was a
there.
Yannick Noah fan from tennis. For anyone that remembers this, my brother and I almost got in a car accident with him in Miami, Florida, at the Lipton tennis tournament.
I've never heard this.
So we went to the Lipton tennis tournament. We watched Andre Agassi, Yvonne Lindell, and we watched Yannick Noah.
That's a hard ass sponsor. If you're going to be sponsored up all night with Lipton,
this is in Key Biscayne, which is basically Miami, Orlando. It's all connected. So then we go to an Orlando Magic game to see Shaq, and as we're pulling out, this car almost takes us out in the parking lot right as we're about to get off and go onto the freeway. And sorry, man. And it's Noah, and they're in a convertible, like rent-a-car, like a Chrysler.
Gosh.
And there's like 4 guys, and Noah's driving. Hey, sorry, man. And he goes back. And at first we're like, you mother. Oh, dude, yeah, let's go.
He's got, like, curls.
Yeah. So
let's go.
So it was like the cool. So then obviously when his son goes on, I'm watching him in college, and all of a sudden he's on the Bulls. I'm like, and on the Bulls he was had a little bit of that like Rodman, just go out and get it, rebounds, knock people down, didn't give a shit, just fought till the end. You know, for a little bit that was kind of like the team. You know, like it was just him never giving up. You know,
physical,
right? He was a physical dude. So there's always been 1 or 2 guys. Obviously, Derrick Rose, and we had
Rose,
Butler.
Butler. He was a Celtic killer. He's always been a Celtic killer. Yeah. Always. There was one year where he wasn't recently in Miami, but he's a Celtic killer. I remember we were watching your house. You just got the new TV out. I'm like, this guy's going to kill us. And he's an assassin when it came to playing the Celtics.
So enough about the Bulls. We went on way too long about that.
Talking about the Bulls, unless you want to take them as your pick. So we're going to do this. We're going to do this.
Unfortunately, the Celtics, Milwaukee, this damn green color just in the NBA just like sticks in my head and just sits there and like has this
Celtics freaking city. Oh my God, the new jerseys.
You know,
with the cream.
Okay, so all these throwback jerseys that they released are absolutely horrendous. And if you haven't seen it yet, Google it, look at it. Across the board, they are 99% the most hideous. Whoever designed these, it is. So there's memes about like making up what the thought behind every design was, how bad they were. The one that hits the most, and I can't stand this team because I couldn't stand them ever since Stockton, Malone. I cannot stand the Jazz.
My wife even said that.
They
She's
did
like, look
their
at these jerseys.
throwback jersey now with the photo shoot that they did with it is. No, it's off the radar. It is.
Oh wait,
it's so legit. Like they killed it. They killed it. The Jazz. So going along with this throwback jersey theme that they just released,
I gotta look at this.
Then look up the Cleveland Cavs did a full launch behind their jersey, and they had a whole stadium full of people, and they did this whole thing, and they release it, and it's
and it looked like an Astros game.
It's crickets.
Game 7.
It's complete crickets.
Are we talking about the mountains?
And people start talking mad shit about it. No, it's like a green, yellow, but they did a classic photo shoot like in the house with like the shag carpet with the old TVs, and they're like sitting on the couch, like the yellow like velvet couch, and just major. So that took the uniform to the next level. Like if you're gonna throw it back and it's gonna be it's legit. So so again, I know the Celtics, Milwaukee. LeBron in his 21st season is a must watch. The Lakers are always a must watch. Showtime in general, the show, if you haven't watched it, is a must watch to see that.
Incredible show. I got sucked into it. I didn't think I was going to like it, and now
so you have to watch it. And we're here on the West Coast, so every night, no matter how good or bad the Lakers are, that's what you got to watch on TV. I never get to see a Bulls game. They're on like 3 times a year.
Yeah. Stream East.
So Stream East. I don't want to shout out streameast.io.xyz.to
whatever
it is.
Thank you for letting me watch my games on my couch on my cell phone.
That is how I watch Red Zone, etc., etc. And I hope that our 100 followers don't shut it down for us.
Put your
please,
money
by
down.
going on and watching.
Just blind draw then. Blind pick. We're going to seal these up. I'm going to put them in an envelope. We're going to talk about it later. I know we're going to remember.
I
the
know
winner,
that, I know
the winner
that
that's
Milwaukee
closest.
and Celtics are.
So Milwaukee and the Celtics in the East. Yeah, so we're going East-West. Who's in the championship? I mean, I'm going outlandish. I'm going to say it's finally happening. What everybody wants is finally happening. We're going Lakers, Celtics, championship.
Show me the power rankings real quick, just so I can see that
rankings.
just this.
Yeah, just the top. It's
and
all
real
East.
quick because we always like to talk about the Messis and the Deion Sanders and the Taylor Swift for the NFL, even though she's not a player
even a
in the
player.
NFL.
She's a player.
The
but she's
people
not a
that
player.
bring eyes to it. So we've talked about this before. I'll be like, the Bulls are 5-0. You're like, who gives a shit? The season doesn't start for another, it starts tomorrow or tonight, but doesn't start or matter for a really long time.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter. But even the preseason this year has been a little bit of a worth watching. And another team that I can't stand, Tim Duncan, every tall guy that's ever been on the team.
Wimby?
Is a freak that you have to watch because it looks like AI. It's not.
He's a less powerful Giannis.
Yes, but
he's like Durant. This guy's like
but he can
7'10",
block Steph Curry's half
shoots
court
from 40 feet
shot
out.
from the 3-point line. He can
Yeah.
block his shot.
It's insane. It's insane.
So now I'm watching in these guys like Steph Curry, who's the master of throwing up rainbow shots and swishing them. That's how you have to shoot against this guy, 3-pointers, because he can just take one or two steps
You gotta
out.
shoot the Jokic.
And get the Jokic behind the head, two hands straight up in the air. So these guys have to shoot like this, and they have to change their shot
Trajectory,
because
yeah.
he doesn't even have to be guarding you. He can take one step to the left, come out, and his. This
guy's a freak, Billy. You
haven't
got to
looked-
see this guy. He came out of France, right? Or is he?
I haven't looked this up because I didn't know we were even going to
Guy's
talk
a
about the
freak.
NBA. But his wingspan is like.
Yeah,
15
players
feet.
haven't come out of the
It's
NBA, and
ridiculous.
you got Zion that came out, and
ridiculous.
like how like leagues go, and everybody wants that first pick in the lottery, and they want to get that prime player. This is the guy that everyone was salivating for a year. He's literally lanky. His arms and legs look like these microphone stands, but he's ridiculous in his ability to play inside, outside, and that's what everything's about now. If you can have a 7-footer, that's like having having a player that can go out of range and shoot inside and shoot outside,
And he's got ball handling skills. He's quick. I mean, again, when you're that, it's a 4 to 5 steps to go coast to coast.
Yeah,
but he's got the skills.
The free throw.
I watched last night. They played in the last preseason game. They played the Warriors, and he got it. He broke away. He's quick, so he takes off. They get him a pass. He's got Steph Curry well in front of him, and he's able to grab it. He did a quick little 180 spin, step to the basket, two-handed dunk, and Curry just has to get out of the way because there's what's he going to do?
Yeah.
There's nothing you're going to do.
Curry's
But he's
baby.
quick enough that you can't set up to draw. There's nothing you can do because he can actually move with the ball.
Yeah.
Which a lot of these.
That's what I like what Chris Stapp's for saying. It's
that's
him,
a
get
lot
him
of
on
these
our
centers
team.
now
These
are
guys that
doing
can
this,
come
yeah.
out and shoot from 3, and now you're basically spacing out that low block, and now the guards with for us Tatum and Brown, like the forwards, the smalls, being able to drive in, and that's what the league's built on now. Everybody wants a 6'9" to a 7-footer
that can shoot threes.
That can shoot threes. That can
It's
play the perimeter.
crazy.
That can ball handle. I had a guy on my high school team, Nate Daniels. Shout out to Nate Daniels because I know you watched the show. You've been liking it. Whenever I played in Greece, I mean, this cat put up 40s multiple times. He played in Louisville, so he played for Patino in Louisville. Same guy in high school, like a 6'9" dude that just literally played point guard, and like you just couldn't guard him because they're sticking their.
Let's go back to
guy
last
on.
week. We did our picks of the old school guys and the new school guys. And
Loved
one of the
it.
old
And
school
we're
guys,
actually gonna be
one of the old school
forming a
guys was
skit off that,
Kareem,
by
but
the way.
Kareem was like one of the only guys there. You got your Dr. J's, but not even that. He wasn't
my
even
top
he wasn't
three
even a center.
greatest players of all time.
But Kareem isn't shooting. There weren't threes, but he's not shooting deep. He's inside, post up, boom, turn, spin, sky hook. But these guys now, they're taking okay, Steph Curry is the new NBA and what you have to learn and what you have to do and where you shoot from. So now you get these 7-foot guys and 7-foot plus guys that are mimicking becoming Steph Curry. It's unheard of.
Yeah.
You know, and that's what you have to have now. You know, the ability to move and like the agility is unbelievable. And
about
typically,
clearing out that
these are the
box.
guys that, I mean, you can go back to the guys back in the day. You get a tall guy, just post up. We're going to get it to you, turn, dunk it. No, now it's unbelievable what these guys can do. The ball handling skills.
Well, it's going to
and
be crazy to see
the
Golden
size
State
and
when we talk about it with that death lineup. I mean, they call it the death lineup, and it's Green and it's CP and it's Klay Thompson. He basically just can just sit out in the perimeter.
And that was one of my kind of picks in there. It's Golden State, LA, because Golden State is awesome. And obviously I love Klay. I've had been honored to be able to play some golf with him. He's a good dude. He's a different cat too. He's got a different kind of personality.
They're
but
not
dude,
giving him that extension.
But these guys out there, it's like it's crazy to see that team. It's crazy to see what Steph. There's guys like that change the league and the way that you play and the way that you got to guard people and where people shoot from. And I never get sick of watching him either, whether you like the Golden State or not. It's just one of those players like Jordan back in the day that you have to watch because every time you're just blown away. By what he does. And there's no way he's going to do this. And the Damian Lillards, and there's just so many guys that I've always been that guy. I love NBA. I love the Bulls. I love certain teams, but I've always been a guy that loves players.
That's NBA
more than ever. And
NBA is the best.
I love
about
players. So
again,
I'm always going to watch Golden State because of guys like Steph Curry and Klay Thompson, just seeing what they can do. I'm going to watch LeBron. That's a battle of people that, he gets a lot of hate more than anybody. I think LeBron does. Yeah. I'll defend the guy to no end because I think there's, that's another conversation. But the things that he's done, not only for the sport, but the challenge of what he's done, and he's done his own little Steph Curry of being just, he was the first kind of do that. Just a big dude that can come in and be a power forward that could also become the best point guard in the league.
Yeah.
And that's just unheard of when you see the size of these guys. To me, I wanted to see. LeBron he's talked about it, and he really announced it again this last week that his kids are talking about hey, let's keep him in there so he can get that one season where he can play.
It's
and
like
he can
mother-in-law being able to teach every single one of my children that she retired that year.
Again, he's Tom Brady. He should be done. Should have been done.
First year out of the top 21 players
competitive.
even ranked. This is his first year where they actually didn't rank him. I was just reading that today. Didn't rank him in the top 21. He's gonna put up freaking 26 points a game. He's gonna go out there and play his game. The Lakers are built. I was surprised to see where the Lakers were ranked. I know, you got Davis, you got the unibrow, you got the guy, but with LeBron on that team, they can do anything. It's interesting to see. I think.
There's leadership. There's way more
I'm a
to it than just what he does
I think
as a
LeBron
player.
is the third or fourth best player ever in the history, and we'll get into that if you want to talk about it on the next episode. We've talked about it with Larry. Obviously, Michael Jordan's my number one.
So just chill
until
the next episode.
We have some conversations to be had. I think best lineups, best players of all time, starting our own fantasy historically, football wise. We could talk about all this, and that's gonna be some fun stuff that we're gonna be talking about.
So hey, let's wrap this up. It's been a great show about nothing, and we found some things to really just go on and on about. But our favorite part of the show is
you guys see the episode that launches
this
before
or that. This or that. And don't forget, 1,000 followers, there's tattoos.
We're getting this or that tattoos.
There's tattoos.
Oh, my wife's going to kill me. We're going to get 1,000 followers in the next 2 days, and I'm going to have to get it. Let's go. We're getting it live here on set. Oh, man, make sure they're straight. So we're going this or that. This is always that blind part of the show where we just get a question, would you rather kind of scenario, and they lead to a lot of fun and the best banter.
Would you rather be 11 feet tall or 9 inches tall? Would you rather be Wembley or the Geico?
Yeah, the Geico Gecko. Billy No Jokes is going to be chiming in on this one. We got to get him pulled in. We missed him last week. We talked about you chasing around those little ninjas, those little twins, man.
I'm going with 11 feet tall.
I'm going 9. I'm going the opposite.
Really?
This is every time.
So weird.
All right, so go.
Weird.
Go.
Well,
go
first of all, I could sneak. Go
9 inches.
You better go 9 inches, buddy. I don't even know what 9 inches looks like. I would go 9 inches. You could sneak around. You could do all kinds of crazy stuff. 11 feet tall. You're awkward. You can't.
You have an insurance contract.
You can't. Well, you could definitely be NBA status. Depends on how, pliable and movable you are at 11 feet. 9 inches
11
tall.
feet, you're hitting the scoreboard above on the way by. You can change the score on the way by, on the way to
I would
score.
I would be a sleuth. I would be navigating through the world and without people even being able to understand what I was doing. I'd be sneaky. I'd be able to sneak in through every little crack. My best friends would be cats and dogs, little ones, so I'd be able to hang out with them. I feel like being that tall, you have longevity. I feel like I have a longer lifespan because I know that the tall people don't have the long
joints,
lifespan.
the joints are going
But
to wear out.
I mean, how
joint.
cool would it be? And you would be all over TV. You could go anywhere
issues.
you wanted to do anything except for ride roller coasters. So, I mean, you would definitely miss out on that opportunity right there. But 9 inches tall, that's all day, sneak around. I mean, that's right here. I could do whatever I wanted. I could play with Ken and Barbie. Kids, I'd be interactive.
You'd be like this beer right here. You'd just be like,
I don't know,
I don't know
man.
if chicks would dig that, though.
9 inches, though. I don't know. It's just fucking 9 inches, man. You know what I mean? Like, yo, you might walk outside and the crow might take you as a snack. You know what I mean? Like,
there
come
you
on,
go.
now,
You
like,
put it into perspective.
9 inches, like, yo, you gotta watch out for certain
foot's
things. You know
13.
what I mean?
You could go down hard just on
Yeah,
that. Just
man.
like, oh, dude, where's Ryan? Oh, shit.
You just
All right.
got jacked by
Ryan's
a
no
hawk.
longer part of the podcast.
You might get
Just
stepped on. You
him.
can't go nowhere. You
Yeah,
get
I
stepped
would,
on.
I would have to be on some booster seats. Over
I don't know
here.
who's making your clothes. You're gonna have to rob them from like Barbie and Ken.
For sure.
You
They
know
got
what I mean?
some
Like-
fresh
like-
gear.
And 11 feet tall, you
I'd
can
be
like
Malibu
you
Ryan.
can see over everything.
Yeah.
You
Just
can
don't
like,
live in Japan.
You can monitor.
Yeah.
You can
You ain't get through a
monitor
doorway.
You ain't
everything.
getting nowhere in Japan. Yeah, you're gonna live on the streets.
Really have an understanding of everything that's going on. Really
11
look down.
feet tall.
Have a sense of security and safety for you and everyone around you. To really just be able to kind of oversee
no one's
the
messing with
situation.
you at 11 feet tall. I mean, you literally just stick your arm out and put the old
Well, they can mess
hand
with you,
on-
but
hand on the head.
they're just going to mess
trick.
with your shin.
Yeah, it's not happening. Yeah, that's a big man right there.
That is. I'd do 11 feet though. I don't know. I don't think I could do the 9 inches. It's just living in
I'd
a
be
dollhouse
ninja,
or
bro.
something.
I'd be
You know what I mean?
sneaking in everywhere.
Would you
doing-
rather have Beyonce's talent or Jay-Z's business acumen?
Jay-Z's business acumen 1,000%.
I'm with
All
him.
day, every day.
I'm
all
with him
day,
on that one.
every day. Jay-Z.
Yeah.
I mean, legend. All three of us can agree. They're both legend, but I mean, Jay-Z, one of my top 5 favorite people on the planet. Incredible business acumen. Guy knows what he's doing, and Beyonce's part of that business acumen.
Correct.
You know,
He, much like Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
oh, he owned it.
Okay.
He went and
So
swooped up the
where
one.
where would Taylor Swift be without Travis Kelce?
Where would Taylor Swift be without Beyonce? Yeah, definitely. I think
I
we
just
all
made a
agree.
lot of people
we all
mad
agree
when I
on the
said that.
Jay-Z thing. I
Yeah,
think we all
that was-
agree on the Jay-Z
I
thing.
just threw it in because everybody was sad about the
Let's go. Let's go.
the
Let's go
9
one
inches.
more. We always have, we
9
got to just
inches.
start doing 3. Just click.
Would you rather have a personal maid or a personal chef? I know Ryan's answer,
Mine too.
and
You don't know my answer. I would actually go personal made
what?
because I can cook like a motherfucker. So I know how to
Yeah.
cook. So I need
Alright.
someone to clean.
Clean,
so bad.
clean up after you cook.
I need
Because
a
that's
maid.
that's the worst part of cooking is cleaning
Absolutely.
up after you
I
cook.
clean as I go. I'm
Great
a restaurant
point.
guy.
Great point. That's why we do this.
And my life at home would be so much happier between me and Shawnee. Like we would just have the house dialed in. A personal maid is top 3 things I want my whole life now. How do I get one? If we have any personal maids out
This
there,
is the
for a
first
reasonable
time you've
price.
ever changed my.
I did. I
point of
swayed
view,
you.
You
in
actually
my
changed
opinion.
mine too.
I know
Yeah.
how to cook really well, actually. So I just
And-
don't have time to do it.
And I'm gonna have you cook for me, so I don't need a personal chef anymore.
And I'll
This is
clean up
great.
too. Look at that. I just did both for it.
This is amazing. That was fun.
That was good.
Hey, that was good one. Good one, guys. Good
Cue
show.
the Seinfeld music.
Thanks, Mark, for being on the show, even though you weren't on the show.
Yeah.
It was meant just as much that you came by to say hi, and you're going to be on the show as long as AJ approves it.
Yeah.
AJ,
AJ's gonna
Please.
Prella's got to approve us.
AJ, you've been making questionable decisions, and please make the right decision.
He's gonna
this
click
time.
and go, oh yeah, 3 people watch that show. I think we're gonna be okay. They just lost a
He's
follower
fine.
last week.
Talk about
Yeah.
whatever the hell you want.
Well, make sure you guys like, follow, subscribe. We're on Instagram. We're on Spotify. We're on YouTube. Again, once this show drops, slide into our DMs. We're going to send you guys some digital gift cards, send you guys some welcome to the family stickers, probably some shirts. But we just want to thank thank everyone for still continually following us. And we are episode 4 of Chasing the Cool, the podcast.
Hey, and we're going to end it with a shout out Meyer Live. Trust me, Vodka. We're going to throw a little commercial plug. We'll see you on the next one. Stay cool.
Let's go chase that cool.